I've been playing many different games recently. Counter-Strike 2, Overwatch, Deadlock, even a little bit of Osu. I noticed I was starting to stockpile on a lot of clips for different games, and all the clips are pretty sick. So here's just a little commentary on how I try to remain consistent, no matter the game I'm playing. So right off the bat, sometimes even before considering which game I'm going to be playing at the time, I give myself a little bit of time in aim labs. If you're going to be playing any game that requires precise movement from your mouse, it's good to warm up a bit in an aim trainer. Now I'm sure you've heard this before, but let me offer you an interesting perspective. So basically aim trainers are going to be calibrating your raw aim. Training raw aim is like training your physique. If you hit the gym 3 times a week and train with a good amount of intensity, then you will get results. And the same thing applies here. You're basically priming your brain to focus. As a real quick addition, it's good to focus on the aspects of your aim that you're not the most comfortable with, or the areas where you need the most improvement. For example, I'm great at tracking, but my flick timing and accuracy definitely need work. So I like to train more flick style aiming before going and playing a Cassidy, Ash, something like that, something with a lot of flicking. The best way to find out what you need improvement in is to ask someone, a friend that trains a lot, something like that. Or if you don't have anyone that is super sick at the game, then you can analyze your own gameplay and take note of the mistakes that you're making. A lot of the times when I'm going through my clips, things like that, I will notice mistakes that I'm making. Most of the time I'm shadow playing something cool. However, if you go back and you just watch your gameplay, then you can notice a lot of the mistakes that you're making. The next thing I like to do is make sure all my settings are consistent, so the sensitivity, the resolution, make sure the maximum FPS is the same as your monitor or more, things like that, You really got to experiment with the video settings. I feel like everyone has a different version of what the best video settings are, so really just going in and seeing what works for you and experimenting is the best way to find out what video settings work for you. And that's across all games, you like playing on low settings, high settings, whatever it may be, right? You just gotta find what works for you. I'll give you an example. So in my last Counter-Strike video, someone pointed out to me that I should turn off Fidelity FX and that it looks terrible. And I do agree, in the video, it looks pretty bad. However, I actually like that setting on, and I thought it looked super sick to play with. But that's just an example of what video setting would be good for me, may not be good for you. Same goes for crosshairs. You're probably seeing in the clips, I use a lot of different crosshairs. I like to change my crosshair. Sometimes I like huge crosshair, sometimes I like really small crosshair. It just depends on what I'm doing. Maybe what character I'm playing in Overwatch or what I feel like doing in Counter-Strike at the time. But yeah, basically just always experimenting, bro. Real quick, I will mention the obvious sleep, nutrition, and exercise. So basically, we are human, so we gotta sleep, so we gotta eat good food, and we gotta exercise, bro. It's just a given. You were put on this planet, you gotta do the smart things, take care of yourself. All right, next up, we got the mindset of when I'm playing. It doesn't really matter what game I'm playing specifically. If it's competitive, I'm thinking about the highest percentage play that I can consciously and competently make. In order to get better at thinking in this sort of way, you need to mentally be asking yourself the right questions. For example, saying, "Why didn't he heal me?" is not the correct question to be asking. The correct question to be asking is, was I in a position that my support could actually see me or no? The only exception to that rule would be if you're playing in a team environment where everyone is on the same wavelength of we're trying to get better at this game. That's when you can start talking about your mistakes, stuff like that, things of that nature. But yeah, genuinely, that's how you improve as a player on an individual level. If you're trying to improve on an individual level, then you will go higher in the ranks. That's just how it goes. But if you want to improve as a team, you got to be talking about mistakes everyone's making. You know what I'm saying? To close the video out, I think a really big part of it is just finding your reason to play. Everyone has a different reason for maybe competing in a game or maybe just playing a game casually, whatever it may be. For me, my microphone. For me, I love the journey of just mastering a skill, and I've been gaming since I was 5 years old, so it only makes sense to, try and get better at what I love doing. Anyways, guys, newer type of video. If you stuck around for it, listen to some commentary. Hey, I appreciate you. Just kind of rambling my thoughts on the topic. let me know if you liked it. Next video, for sure, gonna be an Overwatch montage because the Widowmaker skin is super sick. That looks like the flaming Cronestone from TF2, bro. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.